Wow, this is crazy. Dude, you're our first all nine guest, bro. I wish I had like one of them
Awesome.
things that's like them like
Yeah, that
sound
would be so
machines, round of
fire.
applause thing. I gotta get into that. Our device does that, like the thing we use, like
Yeah.
that has sound effects. I just don't know how
I
to
mean,
use
I'm
them.
sure our editor will add that type of thing in. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, no, this was definitely exciting to have, obviously, because I play baseball now, and seeing all your content, it's crazy that we actually get to like sit down and talk to you now. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to see what you've been doing, because I mean, we're the same height, and you're throwing about 10 plus miles an hour faster than me. It's crazy to see what you're doing. And I know a lot of my college teammates, they watch your videos, everything like that. So I guess my first question would be like, what made you get into posting content and everything for baseball?
I think the biggest thing was when I first got hurt in my freshman year of college. I sort of like had an epiphany where it wasn't all just going to be baseball because up to that point it was sort of baseball consumed my life, but at the same time like I was also being successful with it, so it wasn't really like a big deal, and I didn't really see anything other than I'm going to make the major leagues and we're going to go from there. Once I got hurt and I was like, all right, everyone's human and it's definitely not a guarantee. I sort of had always been pretty good at making videos. Like I remember back when I was young, I did like a whole blitzball league with my friends, and I was trying to make
that's
videos of the
fire.
games and stuff. And I sort of took what I had done with that and kind of blew it out of proportion beyond what I was doing with on the small scale of that. And that was sort of how I got into it. And I felt like it would open up a path where even if my playing career came to an end, which I'm not saying it is now officially, but it's potentially. It's something where I could ease myself into whether it's coaching or just staying within the game in
Yeah.
some way, shape, or form.
That's sick. Like us just starting to get into content like last year. It's cool to hear like how other people got into the content space and the content world because we're just trying to grow and understand it a little more. I don't know half of what I should know about the content space. So my first question, I was gonna say, what is your fastest ever recorded pitch, bro?
99. I
Oh my
really want to hit
god,
100.
bro!
That's
And you're
crazy.
lefty?
No, he's righty.
You're
I'm a
righty?
righty. I'm a
Yeah.
righty, yeah.
Wow.
That's
Oh my
wild.
god, man. That's insane.
And so you've been playing baseball for how long?
Like 2, 3 years old, all the way till now I'm
Yeah, wow.
22. So
And have
it's been a
have
long time.
have you always taken it like so seriously, or were you just more of like just when you got to college, like you really started hammering down and locking it in, or what?
Nah, I've been locked in since like 12.
That's
That's
Been
sick,
crazy.
dude.
That takes a lot.
I've been wanting this for a long time. I would say when I was extra young, like it would be more like working on the skills, all that sort of stuff, fielding, ground balls, all that. Like I'd go to the field all the time,
Mhm.
but it wasn't really more than like in season that I'd be doing that. Where once I got into like that 12-year-old year, I was like the smallest kid on the team. I was just about 4'8" at 12, 4'10", somewhere in there, throwing like I don't know 50 miles an hour, and I
Yeah.
was kind of like one of the worst players on my team. We were a really good team, but like I was one of the worst. And to hold my own, I felt like I needed to get a little better and stronger. And I started doing med ball work. My uncle introduced me to some weightlifting, so I got into that. Didn't really see much progress with that till I started to go through puberty around like 16. Once that happened, I shot up. I went from like 5'3", 120 pounds as a freshman in high school to being 16 the year after and hitting 85 for the first time.
It's
And
crazy.
I grew 4 inches or something. And then the year after that, I even had like an even further jump where I went up to like 91 and then committed to college. So it was pretty quick after 5 years of like really dedicated hard work and not seeing much progress.
Yeah, I guess
Wow.
while we're on like the past subject, do you have any like funny like T-ball or like what would you call that? Like
It would be
my
like T-ball, like coach
yeah,
pitch.
coach pitch memories or anything you remember or anything like you just remember off the top of your head or anything
I
crazy
think
that happened or
so. This was one of the worst teams I ever played on. It was a fall ball team when I was 9 years old, and we didn't win a single game all the way through like the entire regular season. I think it was like I don't know 10 games, something like that. We were 0-10, but every team gets into the playoffs, and then we ended up winning the whole playoff. It was the
dude,
crazy. It
that's
was literally
insane.
the
Yeah,
saddest
cuz it's
year.
one of them like cuz you're so young, everyone just makes the playoffs and
Yeah,
it's one of them leagues.
Wow.
Yeah, like that's how it was when we were younger too. I just remember everyone would make this, and then they'd have the all-star team where everyone, like, people would have to, like, select, like, coaches selected or something. It was always the coach's kid and other kids that were actually good. That's how our all-star team worked when I was younger.
You grew up in where?
I'm from New York.
Oh, that's
You
sick.
like living up there?
It's not where I live is not exactly like what most people envision New York. It's sort of I'm in upstate New York. A lot of people call that
so
like
you're in, like,
Westchester and stuff,
yeah, you're
but
in,
that's
like,
not the real upstate.
That's cool. Cause, bro, I was looking at New York, just like on the map one day. Cause like I never seen anything outside of New York City. Bro, there's some like
Exactly.
farmland up there and stuff. It's crazy. Like there's some, just like if you go like straight north from us, it's just all like farmland and it's crazy. There's like a couple farmhouse. People were like writing to us.
Yeah, a lot of our land is just farmland. It's
Yeah,
crazy,
it's
yeah.
crazy. So I just didn't know like there was parts of New York like that. I thought everything was just city, like as soon as you enter in there. But I've only been there once, so
The majority of New York is like that.
yeah,
It's just the city. That's everyone's perception. Like I can go 5 minutes one way, be at the lake and fish. I can go 5 minutes the other way, be in the woods and hunt. Like
that's awesome.
anything
Tough.
stuff I can do
That's
within like
sick.
5 minutes of where I live.
So are you're into hunting and like fishing and all that?
I am, yeah.
Are you ready
Big
for
time.
ready for the season?
Yes.
Bro, fall's the best, bro. I've never been hunting, but next year me and my guy right here wanna go. We gotta
I love
go.
hunting. That's so fun.
It's great. It's the best.
Dude.
What's the so you deer hunt, yeah?
Yeah, whitetail.
What's the best like you've gotten so far?
So I actually haven't taken any. My dad always takes the shot, but
Hey man.
I'm just letting him. He's got less time than I do. So
Yeah.
That's
he,
true.
we actually have like a little wall up in my garage where we have like 6 different deer heads now. We just put another one in the other day. It's all 8s and above, 8-pointers.
Wow.
I think the biggest one we have is a 12. And the coolest part is like it's all hunting done in our backyard. It's not like actually
Yeah, out in Kansas or
Montana or
yeah.
something. It's like all in New York State
That's
deer.
sick.
So it's pretty cool.
Sounds like we gotta go to New York and hunt. They have the
Yeah, I
best
didn't even know
deer
you
up
could
there.
hunt. Like that's what I'm
crazy.
saying. Like I had no idea you could even hunt in New York. It's just one of them. Like I literally just learned about this a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. Like that they have land like that and they have woods like that. But
Yeah, if you go out like western New York, there's this county called Steuben County.
Hmm.
It's kind of like it's all farmland out there, and it's basically like you know how there's big deer in Ohio and out in that
Yeah.
area. They kind of trickle over into western
Ah.
New York, like that. So if you go in New York, that's where you want to go.
so you go out west to go hunting in New York?
I don't. I kind of just do it in like
Oh yeah,
5
oh
minutes
yeah, that's
away.
right. You were saying yeah, you were literally like 5 minutes. But are you in western New York or kind of like northern or?
I'm 30 minutes north of Albany. And
Okay.
I'm 30
Mm.
minutes south of Lake George.
Of Lake George.
So I'm
okay.
right in between.
That's sick, dude.
That's nice.
So I was gonna ask, how are the beaches up there?
No beaches.
None?
Not where I am.
I guess
I'm
not
like
where
in
he
the
is.
middle.
I was saying, like, on
Xander
the-
lives in Massapequa, so
Yeah.
my one teammate lives in Massapequa, and we go to the beach when we go down there. But yeah, he's
I know.
further
I didn't know
out.
if he went to the beaches in New York or not, because I've never been to. I didn't even know like New York had beaches literally until
Mhm.
like a couple weeks ago. I literally was just like looking at New York, and I was like, because I know a lot of people just go to Jersey, like when they're up in New York. But
Yeah.
I didn't know if you ever been to
Most
any of the
people
New
go to
York beaches, but
So so you went to a Division I college. So what was like that type of experience like outside of baseball? Because obviously, like I know what it's like being like a student athlete. Like outside of college, what was like a daily schedule? Like what was that like?
Well, with Siena being a small school and you have to travel to all the different schools, it was kind of, I would argue it's probably one of the toughest schedules you could deal with as a
Mhm.
college baseball player. Basically, 4-hour practices every day. That's a
Wow.
mandatory. And then when we travel, it was all by bus because our coach, Coach Rossi, he was an older guy, and just based on budgeting and stuff, it made more sense to bus. And like with canceled flights and everything, he just didn't want to deal with it. So we'd be busing down to Florida back and forth every weekend.
Oh,
And
it's like that's like
Yeah.
20-hour drive, bro, from
That's
up there.
crazy.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
it's long. And we'd be doing that pretty much every weekend until it got warm up here. And it wasn't fun, but it was cool playing the teams, but the traveling got tiring.
Yeah,
And I would say on top of that, it wasn't like with our school, it was very much like we're focused on the school aspect.
Mhm.
So they weren't as forgiving as some like bigger schools with like classes and stuff like that. So it was just like about as difficult as it could be because you got the teachers, they're like, well, you weren't in class. And it's like, well, yeah, I was representing the school down playing the University of Florida, and I couldn't make it because I had to be on the bus. So
Wow.
it was like it was tough managing all that. I still managed to do pretty good with grades and everything, but it got annoying because the fact like the teachers don't understand the sport because it's more of like a academic school than it is an athletic school in that regard. And we're playing 65 games. No other teams are really doing that. So like the teachers just don't understand baseball. It was tough.
That's crazy because you're getting back late Sunday night, even like possible early Monday morning.
No,
You're not even getting back
midday
Sunday.
Monday.
Oh,
Midday Monday.
Oh my.
wow.
Do you have a 65 game season?
Nah, we only play like 40.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's crazy. 65 game season. That's insane. Is that how all D1 schools are?
I think.
Pretty much. Yeah.
That's crazy, bro. Because having to balance that, and on top of that, like having to balance your schoolwork and stuff. I mean, that's about as crazy. Because obviously, like football and stuff, there's only like what? There's like 16 games or something.
Not very many games for
I know
college
practice
football.
is a lot, but with baseball, bro, I mean, 65 games, you're playing what 2-3 times a week.
Oh, even more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you have midweek too.
That's
So it's like-
insane, man.
You're never in class.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. You guys at least get like coach buses and everything to travel on.
Yeah,
Okay, I was gonna
which
say.
is nice.
I was gonna say if you guys are getting like the little school buses and stuff, and you have to go all that way down to Florida, that's crazy.
I don't know if I'll be able to do
Yeah.
it. I don't know. 24. How many times do you think you shuttled from there to Florida? How many times do you think you would say?
So my freshman year was like 2021 was my freshman year, and they still
Yeah.
had like COVID stuff going on. So we didn't end up going down south that year, but all the other 3 years we did. And I think 6 to 8 weeks that you're doing it, and then times that by 3. So
Oh my God. It's like 24 times you went back
it
and
adds
forth,
up.
like around there.
Whether that was Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, yeah,
Wow.
you name it.
That's insane.
What was
man.
the furthest you guys traveled?
It would have been this year if my old head coach was still here, but he left, so the schedule changed. We were almost going to have to drive down to FIU, Florida International, which is in Boca.
I'd add a couple
That
extra
would've been-
hours, bro.
That one would have been long.
Wow.
I think the longest was Stetson,
Stetson.
which is, yeah.
Someone we knew went there.
Yeah.
I don't think she goes there anymore.
That's
But
crazy. That's a long drive to be able to sit there because I think the furthest we travel is like 3-ish hours, something like that, and it's like even that gets long. But I could never imagine going from New York all the way to Florida. Wow,
bro, oh my
Dude.
God, 24 times.
It's crazy.
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
What's the best team you think you've ever pitched against?
I didn't pitch against them that weekend,
Yeah.
but University of Florida was disgusting. We
Oh,
played them
man.
last year. They were in the final.
Mhm.
All 3 pitchers. I mean, Caglione hit a ball that I think it might have went like 484, and it was over the scoreboard at a 117 exit velo. So that was stupid.
Dude, oh
And
my
then-
God.
They had Brandon Sproat on Friday night. We actually played him really good that day. It was a 3-2 game. We ended up losing, but he was like coming out of the blocks, sitting 100, and then this other guy, Hurston Waldrop, on their Saturday, he got picked up in the first round. He was lights out. He was disgusting to watch as well. Other than him, I would say I thought Stetson was really good too.
Mhm.
They were a really good team.
Yeah. I mean, hearing that they're all throwing
Yeah.
so fast, I'm so glad I'm only a pitcher and I don't have to worry about stepping in the box.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I didn't want to face that. I'll tell you that.
So were you always a PO or when did you stop playing the field and everything and just transition into a PO?
So I hit all the way through high school. I thought I was a pretty good hitter, but my coach wanted me just as a pitcher. I didn't really have much power when I first got recruited. It kind of kicked in a little late. So like I would take BP sometimes at practice and be putting balls out, but it just didn't. My coaches didn't really want me to do it, so I stuck to the pitching, and here I am. I guess I don't know.
That's crazy.
That's what I remember. You like you had to stop. What was
Yeah.
that senior year?
They
You
wouldn't, no,
stopped.
they wouldn't let me hit at all my junior or senior year. I wasn't allowed to hit at all. I mean, I'm not throwing 90 plus, but like they just wouldn't let me hit anyway because our school's a little smaller. So like they pretty much just
Well,
like,
you were definitely the ace.
yeah, but like outside of that, like it
Yeah.
wasn't as hard to beat because we only had 2 starting pitchers
That is, yeah. I
and
guess you're
everyone
right.
else was a position player. So
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there wasn't many people on that team. It was like what, 13, 14?
yeah, there wasn't many
There
people.
wasn't many at
I would
all.
imagine you guys have bigger high schools and stuff up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good area for baseball. We have a lot of guys that do really well every year. The whole section, so like it's called Section 2, the whole capital region of New York, and we have a lot of talent. We had Ian Anderson get drafted 3rd overall in 2016.
Wow.
So
Wow.
he won the World Series with the Braves, and then we had another guy first round named Garrett Whitley. He was drafted by the Rays in 2015, and then 2022 we had a 4th rounder, Mike Kennedy. He was really good. Jeff Hoffman, who's the closer for the Phillies right now, is from my area. Tommy Canley from the Yankees, he's from my area as well. There's a lot of talent, and like there's gonna be a lot more coming soon too.
Yeah.
Like we had a kid drafted this year. He was the Friday guy for Alabama. He's from my
Jeez.
area. There's this really young prep team called All Stars Academy. They get covered by Youth Prospects pretty often. I feel like they're up and coming. They have a lot of really good talent. They have a kid that's 2027. He's already throwing like 94. It's just stupid. Like,
Oh my god! Like
I-
high school class of 2027.
yeah,
He's like a freshman or or a sophomore.
Dude, he's barely just getting into
Oh
high school.
my
He's throwing
God.
wow. It's
My
crazy.
God.
there's
to see
something
that.
in the water up here. There's
Yeah.
a lot of really good talent.
Yeah, I mean,
Bro.
it sounds like there's a ton of stud pitchers that are up there throwing gas, like
That's
especially because a
insane.
lot of the
Yeah.
guys you named were pitchers. That's crazy.
That's actually
There's
crazy.
There's a lot of hitters too. We have this kid named Luke Gold. He's in the Tiger system at the moment. He was probably one of the best players I've ever played with. And then I know you guys were talking about Long Island a little bit. The Stony Brook stolen base record holder I played Little League with. So there's just so much really good talent.
Yeah, wow, that sounds like a
Stolen
baseball
base
state over
leader,
there. That's
bro.
crazy.
I feel like a lot of baseball people are from New York and stuff. That I always see
It's
like,
very common.
yeah.
Yeah.
So are you a Yanks fan?
Of course.
Yeah.
Have to be.
Yeah, I mean we're Phillies fans, but
Yeah.
I do like the Yankees. It's weird because if my AL team is definitely the Yankees, bro. Because I have a buddy who I grew up watching like sports with, and he's a Yankees fan. He's a Knicks fan, all that. So that's always my second team, New York. I don't know. I always just rooted for them. I love Aaron Judge too, so I have an Aaron Judge shirt. I love Aaron
He's
Judge.
a wild hitter.
That dude's nuts.
So if you could face one batter, either all time, current, or anything, who would you want to face?
I think I gotta say Barry Bonds, no?
I feel like everyone says Barry
You can
Bonds.
get him out. You can get pretty much anyone out.
That
so
is
Yeah.
so true.
give
Barry
yourself a shot
Bonds,
against
bro.
Zach.
Dude, that
The
it's
the
crazy.
roided up Barry Bonds. I feel like you gotta
Why
go
not?
prime Barry Bonds with the roids, bro. I think that'd be a pretty insane
Dude,
matchup.
He knew how to hit.
Yeah, that
If you
dude.
can get that guy out, I mean, sky's the limit, you know?
Yeah, for real.
How about Tony Gwynn?
I mean, he's one of the best contact hitters, too. So
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be a tough challenge as well.
I've seen people. I have a friend who thinks he's the goat of baseball, like the
Really?
underrated goat. Like, because everybody says like obviously Barry Bonds or Jeter or I don't know, everybody has their opinions, but Tony. I mean, I looked at some of Tony Gwynn's like crazy stats, bro. Like his like that you would think were false but are true, and it's crazy. Like I forget he went like so many at bats without missing a. I forget. I forget some of them, but you gotta like look some of them up. They're crazy. Like some of these stats, I'm like, dang, this guy was kind of underrated. So it would be cool to
Yeah.
go against him. I feel like
He's good.
he's a beast. Yeah. So what would you say in college was your favorite? I don't know if you had a favorite moment or a favorite like favorite time that you were pitching or favorite matchup. Like what would you say is your favorite moment in college while pitching?
Yeah, I didn't really have too many great moments early on in my college career because I was kind of going through some injury stuff. But I would say I got a win versus Dartmouth last year, so that was my first college win. I was happy about that.
That's sick.
And then this year, I think the best part was I got a start against U Albany, and I ended up having like a decent outing. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was just nice to actually like feel like myself again out there after a long time of
Yeah.
really struggling. So that one was probably my favorite, just simply off truly feeling like how I used to feel before I had gotten hurt, and just attacking and the competitive fire coming out, everything. So it was a good one.
Yeah, that's sick.
Wow.
It's always good coming, like, obviously injuries can be taxing, like, mentally and physically, so it's always good to bounce back and just feel like your old self again after a crazy injury like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like obviously like you're doubting on baseball, but outside of like I know we talked a little bit about hunting, fishing, everything. So what do you kind of do outside of baseball? Like when you're not lifting, everything like that. Is there like certain things that you like to like you enjoy or
A lot of spending time with family. I try to spend as much time as I possibly can with them.
Mhm.
Um, I'm very into faith, so I do a lot of reading. Try to increase my wisdom of just biblical knowledge and spiritual, all that sort of stuff. And if I'm not doing that, I'm probably hunting or fishing. So pretty much all I'm doing.
Wow.
Working
Simple
on
guy, bro.
becoming a coach. So doing some like foundation stuff with that, getting that all set up.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
Pretty much all I'm doing.
what was your major in college? Like, what are you looking to do after college?
So my major was business analytics and finance. I graduated with that, and I'm probably not going to use it too much. I might
Yeah.
use the analytics sort of stuff with working with kids on coaching. My big thing is I really want to hit the ground running as a coach and work at a facility, hopefully have my own one day, and just do my best to really help the next generation. Because, I mean, although I think I got maybe one more shot at trying to play professionally, I got to give it my all with that. But at the same time, it's not guaranteed. And if I can't make it, my mindset's sort of I want to help as many kids as I possibly can get to that next level. So that's sort of where my mindset has shifted a bit, where now I really just want to help as many kids as I possibly can get
Mhm.
to where they want to get to.
So when you're coaching, will you continue to keep doing content on Instagram and stuff?
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
sick.
I'm
That'll
gonna
be sick.
continue.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
So you obviously like everyone's goal is to get to the major leagues. Would you consider playing like a independent ball type thing or is it you want to get like in the minor leagues?
I'm open to a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think first and foremost was trying to get as healthy as possible because I'm certainly still not fully healed from Thoracic syndrome. And it's kind of a long, daunting process to truly get healed from it. You're waiting on nerve damage to heal. So,
Mhm.
I mean, that can be years. And I'm just gonna rehab it as best I possibly can now that I'm not actually forced to play in games and see where it goes.
Wow.
At least ultimately, in the end, you know that you want to coach, and if I know like everything with that injury and stuff, like if it never like, there's always that scenario of what if it never comes back. At least you have coaching to fall back on, and that'll be really sick. And that's cool. That I don't like. I know like when I was younger, like there was just like parents coaching when I was like super young, and I was like, yo, these people are so knowledgeable about baseball, but the fact that you kind of know everything about it, like, nah, I won't say everything, but you know a lot about baseball and you want to help the younger generation get into it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously, I don't know if I can talk about this, but my favorite baseball player is Trevor Bauer. Do you think he should be in the MLB, or are you perfectly fine with him not signing with the team?
I think he should be in the MLB.
Yeah.
I don't see how it's possible that other people that have had the same similar circumstances are currently pitching
Or
in the major
worse.
league
Yeah.
or worse. Like I don't see how that makes any sense. I think he's sort of getting just I don't really understand the context, so I can't really speak on it. But
Yeah.
like I do think based on everything that's public knowledge, it makes sense that he should be back in the league.
You think if he comes back, he's a top 5 pitcher in the MLB, or like even like a top 10?
It's top 10 probably.
Yeah.
It's hard to say top 5 because I mean these dudes are
Who's that one
they're
guy?
getting
Is he on
good.
the White Sox?
Who?
There's someone dealing right now, like crazy, like that. He's
Crochet.
there.
Yeah, Crochet
Yeah,
is dealing.
that's who it is.
He
Yeah.
is
What team
dealing.
is he on?
The White Sox.
Is it the White Sox? Okay, yeah. I was gonna say because I seen like people were doing like MLB does like this top 5 ranking, and I always see he's like in the top 5. I'm like, who is this? I've never heard of this guy, and he's cooking right now.
Dude, I'm not
He's
even gonna,
really, really good.
yeah, he's a really good pitcher.
I've never heard of him till this year.
I'm not even gonna lie. Some of the MLB rankings I think are wrong because they always have the Phillies at number 1 for the power rankings,
Yeah.
and like we got destroyed against the Orioles, and they're still behind us. Like I think
But
that
lost to the
type of
Braves,
stuff
too,
is like
the other night.
sometimes like these major sporting companies will put out stuff and it's like a lot questionable.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
I think
understand it.
the Yankees are probably a better team than the Phillies.
Yeah. Right now.
Like I
I
think
don't know.
we
They
both
both
have
have
our
their
ups and
moments, yeah.
downs. I mean, I'd probably put if who do you think is the best team in the MLB right now?
I think the best team is Cleveland.
That's
That's crazy
I mean,
that
I
they're
watched
cooking like
them-
that.
I was at their game 2 weeks ago, and I watched them play the Orioles, and it was they lost, but like it was a close game, and they didn't throw anybody that great.
hmm
Like they threw a rookie as the starter, and then it was like a bullpen day after him, and it was like just getting guys reps. They didn't put in Clase, they didn't put in like their front of the line guys. It was just sort of like a bounce back kind of day, and it was like 6-3 against the Orioles.
That's
So,
sick. Dude,
I really think like they're the best.
yeah.
So I always ask whenever I'm on with someone that's into sports or whatever. I was literally asked someone that was into gaming who
Yeah.
the other day. But who would you say I don't want to say model your game after, but who did you kind of look up to when you were getting into pitching as like MLB or even overseas, whoever you looked up to? Who was that person?
I think, generally speaking, because I would go through phases of like whoever
Yeah.
was the best guy I was trying to mimic.
hmm
I think Jose Fernandez was the guy I was trying to mimic for the longest and always kind of reverted back to
hmm
That's sick.
with his like leg kick and everything.
That's
Wow.
insane.
Yeah, dude, he was a great pitcher.
He was.
He was so
He was really
electric
fun
at
to
such a young age.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's crazy. I always see like the guy who hit that home run for him. Who was it?
D Gordon.
Yeah, D Gordon. I always see that, bro. That's a crazy moment. That's like one of them goosebump moments. Cause he did
For sure.
he didn't hit a home run all year or something like that. He couldn't hit a ball
It was
over
something.
like
It was
280 or
like that,
something.
yeah.
And he just smashed one like right after
First at
all that
bat.
happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was crazy.
that's like insane. I don't know, but yeah,
So you enjoy traveling and everything?
I don't mind it. I'm not the biggest travel guy, but if I do it, I do it. I'm not too concerned with going pretty far or anything like that.
Yeah. So you kind of want to like in the future like stay in New York, or you want to like move somewhere else, or
I'm open to everything. I just gotta see. I gotta see where it takes me. We'll see.
I just like being in Pennsylvania. I know like snow and everything's a lot worse in New York. I just can't. That's just something I don't enjoy. I don't like it being cold. I don't like snow, everything like that. It's so,
don't
especially
mind
for
it.
being an athlete, like outdoor, you have to like go practice in the freezing cold. I'd much rather like move down to like a Florida or something.
Yeah,
bro, then
but
the
then you
heat-
got their
yeah.
side too, where it
Mhm.
gets too hot in summer.
exactly.
Yeah, but I feel like sometimes because I was in Florida at the beginning of the summer in like May, and it was way hotter here than it was down there. So like I feel like I can kind of compromise with myself and be like, okay, well I'd rather be really hot in the summer than have to deal with being really cold in the winter. And pretty much all of our preseason is freezing, and the majority of our season's freezing. So
I agree with that part.
yeah.
I agree with that.
So you guys get a lot of snow up where you are.
Yeah, we had. I think my sophomore year we had a game snowed out.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's in the
it's-
spring too. That's crazy.
Yeah,
it was like
April. Oh my
Wow.
god, that's insane.
We played one that it was like hailing and everything, so we had to stop, and then it started snowing after a while. It was a crazy day, but ours wasn't. I think it was early, sometime in March. So
Yeah, I know it's
That's
always it
crazy
does
in
snow
April.
around like March still, but April that's insane. I feel like that's when the kind of it starts heating up. Yeah, I've only been in New York. I went to the Statue of Liberty. I went to the little island one time. That's the only time I've never been to the city, so that's the only time I've ever been in New York.
Yeah, I haven't been in like Manhattan myself, to
Yeah.
be honest. No.
My one buddy goes to college up there. He wants me to come up and check out. He goes to St. John's, and he wants me to like check out the city and stuff. And I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm like, maybe I will, maybe I won't. Like, I'm like, the city life was crazy. I've never been to an actual like crazy city. I don't think in my life.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I'd want to go in New York City these days, to be honest.
Yeah, bro.
Have you ever been? You've been in the city though, yeah.
Not like in Manhattan. I really haven't. I think the closest I've been is wherever I played University of Manhattan or Manhattan College or whatever.
Yeah.
When we played them for like conference play, they don't play like in the city. It's somewhere in the outskirts.
Yeah, I mean, kind of getting back to what we already said before, I kind of just thought everyone, even if they didn't live in the city, I figure everyone, like, that's where everyone just goes and hangs out in the
Had, like,
city and
yeah.
stuff. But, wow.
Nope.
I hear mixed reviews. I hear some people want to be in the city, and some people
Yeah.
like stay as far away as possible. It's like a different. It's just
Yeah.
it's all about like if whatever you want. Because there's some people that love that city life and love the studio apartment life. That's $1 million, and some people like the country life. Like it's just how it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Because I would imagine you guys, is there a lot to do around you outside of, like, because, like, here we really have nothing to do. Like, it's a lot of farmlands, everything like that. Is there, like, things you guys can do, like that you did in, like, high school that you and your friends
Amusement
could go hang
parks
out
or
with, stuff
whatever.
like that?
So, I mean, a lot of my days would be like going to the park and playing baseball or just like playing pickup football or whatever with my friends.
Yeah. That
But
sounds just like
other
here.
than that, my friends and I go bowling a good amount, even still, like my high school friends and I. Other than that, that's really kind of like the typical day. That
Yeah.
pick up basketball.
That sounds just
There's
like here.
There's bars and stuff, but I don't really drink or anything like
Mhm.
that, so I'm not really usually going with those crowds. That's really we have a really nice downtown where I live in Saratoga Springs, so a lot of people go to that. We have the racetrack, which it's horse racing. It's
Oh
the first
shoot, that's
horse
kind
show.
of dope.
So I'll go there sometimes. That's always fun to watch.
You a big gamer or no?
Not really. I play games, but I'm not good at them.
Hmm.
I kind of
Yeah.
like would
Just roll
play
with the
Fortnite
trends.
like good or
Yeah.
Hey, it's not. I mean, it's not a bad thing. I'm kind of into gaming, and I've definitely fallen off like the past couple of years. But when I was really young, like not really young, I guess like 5, 6 years ago, I was like super into gaming. I was on like all day. I don't know. It's just a turning point in my life. I was like, oh, I gotta start like spending time doing other things because this is crazy. I'm on this like all the time.
Yeah, I'm terrible
Yeah.
at games. I literally, like, a lot of my friends, they'll play it all the time, and I just suck at games. I can't, like, I don't play them as much anymore. But like in high school, like, I try to like play like Fortnite and stuff with my friends, and I just was never good at even competing with them. It was always frustrating. But at the end of the day, games mean nothing. So that's how at least I
Yeah.
always looked at it.
you could treat life like a video game and give yourself like, daily checkpoints and stuff
Mhm.
you got to do. I
Yeah.
kind of live by that sort of
Let's
thing.
go. Yeah, that's sick. But yeah, man, do you have any questions for us? Anything you want to talk about?
I feel like we
No,
covered
I
it.
mean,
Yeah.
We covered a pretty
I feel-
solid stuff.
Yeah, bro. All right, man. We appreciate you hopping on and joining us. Your socials will already be on the screen and stuff. So everyone watching, go follow my man. I think it'll be above or below, one of the two. 60 ERA guy. Thank you, and we appreciate you joining and being our first online guest. This is a big breakthrough,
Yeah.
first of many. So we're super appreciative.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Yeah, my man. Take care. This is Out of the Park Podcast, and thank you guys for watching. Tune in to next week's episode. And obviously, like I said, go follow 60 ERA guy. And we appreciate everyone here. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let's get it going.